You're gonna help me with this? No, I believe in you. You're doing a great job. You do know you're gonna have to take those jeans off to film this, right? Yeah, but put some others on. Guys, welcome back to the vlog. I hope you're happy and healthy out there. I hope you're taking care of yourselves. I hope you're taking care of each other. And yeah, I hope that things are slowly but surely getting back to normal wherever you are. Today we're going to be talking about these TCB jeans. Okay, so this particular model, this is the 50s Slim Fit. And that means it is, well, it's kind of in the name, it's a slimmed down version of their 50s model. And that 50s model is based on a Levi's 1950s cut. And okay, let's roll this back a little bit. I was wondering why, or I was thinking, like, why did they choose the 1950s cut out of all of the possible models that Levi's have had over the years? And even though I've not spoken to the guys about this directly, I'm guessing, I mean, the 50s cut was quite possibly the most iconic and certainly most important transitional period in blue jeans. I mean, in the 1950s, that's when blue jeans were going from a workwear staple to being something of the counterculture. It wasn't a fashion yet, but it certainly was being worn by, I mean, okay, Marlon Brando. He's the main protagonist about this shift in perception of blue jeans at that time. And I mean, Marlon Brando is in The Wild One, it's his character Johnny. And at that time, like, blue jeans were really seen as something rebellious, something that you should steer your nice middle class kids away from. And that transition is just a fantastically interesting part of denim history. And I'm presuming that's why the TCB team decided to use that model and recreate that model. And this slimmer fit version was just more wearable. For myself personally, I can't wear the baggier jeans. It doesn't suit my body shape. It doesn't suit my lifestyle. It doesn't really work for me. But all of those like amazing geeky details that us denim heads love, have that in a slimmer, more contemporary model, then you've got a winner. And that's exactly what TCB have done here. Okay, let's just take a moment to talk about this repro thing, because I think there's a distinction that we've got to make here. There's a distinction between, well, if I'm taking, for example, and I've got this in my head, like the vlog I did a couple of weeks ago on the Image jeans, and well, this is the next review that I'm doing on a pair of jeans. And these two jeans are coming from a very, very different place. I mean, what Manuel is doing with Imyet is he's digging really into the tailoring details of a pair of jeans and striving to make as clean a pair of jeans as possible. What the TCB guys are doing is that they're diving into the history of jeans, and they are using all that historical detailing to inform what their product's going to be in the end. And so when we do get into these, it's going to look, especially when I open them up, when I turn them inside out, they're going to look a little bit messier, a little bit. They could be perceived as there's less attention to detail, but it's not that. The attention to detail comes from the fact that they are researching every single detail, every single nuance of how denim was produced back in the day, and then they're recreating it, and then they're putting it into their products. So I wanted to cover this now before we go any further, because I think, as I said, it's an important distinction to make. Okay, having said all that, let's get into the details. Now, I wish I did have a pair of the LVC 1955 so I could compare, because I think Levi's do a pretty good job of estimating how their jeans were made back in the day. But I really, really trust the TCB guys to know their stuff on this. So I'm pretty sure the details that are in these jeans are exactly down to the stitch count per inch are exactly how they were done way back when. Well, let's start with the most obvious thing. Let's start with the denim. The denim, this is, okay, it should be mentioned now that this is a one-wash denim. So that means that the jeans were sewn together using unsanforized denim, just as they were back in the day. And then they were given one wash to bring them down, get all the shrink out of them. And you can see this in the denim. I mean, it's very obvious that it's not that sort of hard, crisp, raw denim that you probably immediately associate it with raw denim, but it still has got the beautiful dark tone, but just a lot of the characters coming out. The denim itself, it's a 13.5 ounce right hand twill, so it's got that really beautiful red cast to it that I certainly associate with all Levi's. It's very, very hairy. Yeah, there's a lot of character within this denim, and also that one wash has really brought out the character hugely. To the fit. Okay, so the fit, as I mentioned earlier, it is a slimmed up version of their 1950s jean. The fit is, well, for me, it really suits me. It's quite low rise. I'd say mid to low rise, but then it's not skinny at all. It's got like plenty of room through the thighs, and then it's got a nice sort of taper coming down to the foot. So they're a very comfortable jean to wear, sort of day to day. If we're moving to the back pockets directly, unlined, very simple, but they do have the hidden rivets on either side, just there. Good size. Now this is something I find a bit of a shame, and this is nothing to do with TCB. This is Levi's always beating their drum. There's no red patch, or red tag, sorry, which I always feel to be, it's a little bit sad because, well, I've got a pair of Red Cloud jeans that were imported from China. So I don't think Levi's got quite the clout in China as they do in the rest of the world, so they can't sue anybody for that. So this pair, which was also a 1955 version, let me just go and get those actually, 2 seconds. Okay, here we go. Right, so this is a pair of Red Clouds with, again, this is kind of a repro model of it, much more in keeping with the 1955 fit though. The point here is that they've got the red tab, saying Cloud on it, and you just get like a really sick little like tab fade behind it, and that's something that I really miss that. That's just geeky little details for me. Right, the belt loops. This is where we start seeing the first evidence of what could be seen as less attention to detail if we compare it to the Imyats. But remember, we're not comparing it to the Imyats because it's a very different animal. Belt loops have got a little bit of chain stitching on the back, and they're not tucked under the waistband here. I mean, what you have to remember, and what's essential to remember about jeans in the 1950s, even though there was this whole wave of counterculture behind them and it was just building up, that wasn't the case then. They were workwear, and they were mass-produced workwear. And sometime, I think, between the 30s and the 40s, like what constituted a pair of jeans was pretty much cemented. And then that really hasn't changed for the last 100 years. And so, since they were just mass-produced things, they were made in a way that they could be made fast, they could be made quick, they could be made en masse. So you don't have things like the belt loops being tucked underneath the waistband here, like you will find in some modern jeans. Right, belt loops, yep, they're solid, they're wide enough to take a pretty thick belt. They've got a nice contrasting stitching between the lemon and the tobacco there. I like it. Now here we move on to one of my favourite parts, the leather patch. I'm not too sure what kind of leather they use here. It's quite thin, and this is where you can see that these jeans they've been one washed, because not only has the denim really come in, it's shrunk down around the leather patch, distorting the edges, but the leather patch itself, in leather and water, they mix, but they don't really mix. Anyway, it's shrunk it down, it's given it a huge amount of character. And yeah, I just like that. And then we've got the TCB Jeans & Co. I mean, TCB, if you don't know, stands for Two Cats brands, so it's a riff on the Two Horse brands of the Levi's. And the founder of TCB just really, really, really loves cats. Like, really loves cats. So you've got that here. Right, another thing about the sizing. TCB are not vanity sized. Your actual waist is the waist that the jeans are going to be in. I'm anywhere between a 32 and a 34 in most European made jeans. In these I'm a 36. 22 minutes. He's been droning on about these jeans for 22 minutes. Psst, hey, wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Yeah, what? The vlog's too long. You're wearing a hat in bed? Really? That's what's weird in this situation? You're also still wearing the jeans, aren't you? Maybe? You have to record another outro. Okay, and then you're going to let me go to sleep. Guys, thank you very much for tuning in. As always, we'll be back next time with the rest of the details on these TCB jeans. All of the links to our social media and all of those other good things are down below. If you're not already, just hit that subscribe button, and there's also the alarm clock, the bell icon. If you hit that, you're going to be notified next time I drop a video. And yeah, I'll see you in the morning for a cup of coffee.